So welcome back, guys. Welcome back to ProForex101. Okay, guys. So today we're going to be looking at how we look at charts and what is actually going on here. We want to get to the bottom of it. So a chart. So what I'm looking at right now is a chart that we use to trade. It can be in any field, guys. As I say, it can be in the it can be in the stock exchange, or it can be data from cryptocurrencies or whatever. But this is a chart of euro dollar, which is our foreign exchange charts. So this is a chart of euro versus dollar. I'll just write this down because it's not clear. Euro USD. Okay, should be able to see that. So this is a chart of euro dollar. So let me just explain what. So all right, let's look at some things. So what we are seeing here is nothing but a representation of price over time. Okay, and it's a graph. Remember the graphs that we used to draw when we were back in school and university, guys? So we had a XY coordinate system, right? Where X is at the bottom and Y is your this axis and your X is this axis. And in currency charts, we have time frame at the bottom. It can be daily, 4 hour, or whatever the time frame, which is, we can choose the time frame by using these divisions. And your y-axis is basically your price, which is shown here on the right hand side. Your y-axis is, they put it on the right hand side, but basically it's the same thing, guys. Okay, so so in MT4 and all the other trading platform, most of it, this y-axis just being moved here, and then the values are there. Yeah. So don't get confused just by looking at the values to the right. It's the same thing. Okay, so a simplest form of a currency chart is this, guys, which is a line graph, where we are taking the closing price of that time frame. So let's say you're on the 4 hour. So every 4 hour, the market closing price is plotted, and then it's joined to get this graph. So, and then you can choose any time frame. Let's say you're on the daily charts. Okay, so now on this chart, since it's a daily chart, we are plotting the closing time, closing price of every day. At the end of this market session, we draw the points, and then we plot the closing price and then join the points, yeah, to get this graph. So what I mean by this, it's simply a graph like this, guys. Okay, so where this is for an example where you go, okay, so this is a monthly chart where you go January, February, March, okay, on this side, on the x-axis, and on the y-axis you got some values. We don't know what this chart is. So basically we are plotting these values every month and then joining them, right? So that's the same thing right here. Okay, we are plotting the closing price every day, and we are joining the dots. So you can actually, this, if you click here, that's your monthly chart. So this data goes back all the way to August 2003, or even more. You can go scroll back, but we don't need to, guys. Okay, so it can be a weekly time frame. So you can control the time frame, but the price, you cannot control the price, guys. Whatever the market is, the price is history. You cannot change that. And the future, what we're trying to do is predict it, yeah, by looking at the patterns in the past. Okay, so yeah, so hopefully that makes sense, guys. So that's what a graph is basically. So Yeah, and it's nothing but a two-dimensional representation. Yeah. So when we got the x and y axis, which is here, let me get that up again. So you got the y-axis and the x-axis. Okay, so that's a two-dimensional representation. So all the charts that we're looking at, it's a 2D representation of price. Yeah. And what I mean, so you guys know what a three-dimensional representation is when there's a z-axis, right? So we're ignoring the z and only y and x, which is a 2D. Yeah. So anyway, guys, I don't want to get too much into this side tracking. Okay, so okay, guys, so hope that made sense. So it's a chart that we're looking at is nothing but a graph. Okay, and there are many ways of representing this. For instance, there's bar charts. Okay, some people like this to use these bar charts. Let me just zoom in a bit. So on the bar charts, you get a little more information. And again, my favorite is candlesticks. On the candlesticks, you get more information. Bar charts and candlesticks are similar because you get the same information, basically the open, close, and the deviation. But candlesticks just sticks out, and gives you a clear color and clear direction, and it's just very quick for your mind to see this. Yeah. And it depends on what you're used to. So I'm really used to candlesticks. So that's why I try to stick to candlesticks, guys. So a candle is nothing but a reference. It gives you more data points. Okay, guys. So let's say now you're looking at the daily chart on this 14th of December. Now the graph that I showed you earlier, we just have the closing price, right? So this line graph. But the moment you go to the candlesticks, you go more data points, which is now, for instance, on this candle, we had an open here, close all the way here, and this tail is deviation. So actually, guys, let me explain how to draw a candlestick, and then we'll come back to this, and you'll understand a bit more about what I'm trying to say. Yeah. So a candlestick has an opening price, a closing price, and this line is the deviation. Okay, so if you're on the 1 hour chart, at the start of the 1 hour, the market opened, and at the close of the hour, market closed here, and within that hour, this line represents wherever the market went to randomly. Okay, and we don't care. We just need to know, okay, open, close, and the tails, they do tell us the price action. So it's very important to know also, like we'll get into that later on. But for now, guys, just see how the body is formed. Yeah. And if the close is above, it's a green candle. And if the close is below, it's a red bearish candle. Yeah. So for us, just by looking at this, if it's a green, we know the movement was upwards. And then if it's a red candle, the movement was down. Let me draw this. Actually, it'll make more sense. It'll be more clear. Okay. All right. So again, guys, okay, let me draw the axis first. So we've got, sorry. Okay, so your y-axis, x-axis. Okay. And okay, so for us in foreign exchange, your y-axis is your price. Okay, and your x-axis is your time frame. Can be daily, 4 hour, 1 hour, it doesn't matter. So let's say you're looking at the 1 hour chart. Okay, and for a point here, which is okay, whatever time, like let's say 2 o'clock. Okay, let me bring up. So at that 2 o'clock market opened. Okay, right there. And then until 3 o'clock, market was just moving up and down. We don't care. And then at the close of the 2 o'clock candle, we closed here. Okay, let's just say we went up a little bit also. Okay, so what the candlestick does is we just fill the body in, and it gives us a clear indication of the market direction, guys, just by closing it in. It's very visual, than a bar graph or any other line graph, because it gives more information, and like just by glancing it, your mind knows, okay, this is a bullish candle, it's a green candle, and we're going up, because we know open was here and then close was there. Okay, and then for the other scenario, a bearish candle, let's say another time, let's say the market opened here and then went all the way up here and then got rejected, came back up. It doesn't matter how many times it goes up and down within that time frame, and now it closes down here. Okay, what we do is we fill in this open close areas to get the candle there. So just by looking at this, we know there's a big wick on top, and this is a bearish candle because it's red, so that's pretty straightforward, guys. Okay, so that's the beauty of candlesticks, guys. So you, for any point on your x-axis, you get so many data points from your y-axis. So your open, your close, how the deviation, everything is there at a glance on a candlestick. So hope that makes sense, guys. It's you have to get to the basics of it. You have to understand what what you're looking at. Don't just randomly try to trade. Don't try to randomly understand what I myself, I was looking at candlestick patterns and trying to memorize them without actually in my mind trying to figure out what we are trying to represent. It's nothing but a graph. So, and on the graph, when you put candlesticks, you get more information. So coming back to our chart, let me actually go back to the screen sharing. Okay, so coming back to our chart, guys. So yeah, so now we're on the daily chart. So every day we got the market open, market close, and the deviation. So the next day we got the market open here, closed here, and the deviation. The next day market opened here, closed here, and within that day it moved all the way up here and all the way down here. We don't care, but the tails actually tell us it's a sign. Okay, so people who look for exhaustion candles and things like that, it's a sign. So yeah, okay, guys, so hope that makes sense there. So that the chart is nothing but a graph, and the candlesticks charts are just the graph with more data or points on it. Okay, so right now when we read this graph, right now the price is at 1.13. That means for every euro, for a single euro, you get $1.13. That's how we read this chart, guys. So your pair at the left, the currency at the left is your base pair, and the currency on the right is your counter pair. And we that's how we get the price of the charts. Okay, so euro, for a single euro you get 1.13, $1.13. And let's have a look at it on let's just confirm that. I'm gonna go euro dollar on Google, and it will give me $1.13, which is about what we have here at the price where we are right now here. Okay, so let's have a look at another currency. So let's look at New Zealand dollar. Okay, so what this chart means, sorry, what am I doing? I just want to write the New Zealand dollar label here so that it's easy for you guys to see. Okay, so what this chart means, so this on this chart we got New Zealand dollar, so that means New Zealand is our base pair and US dollars counter pair. So the price given here is for a single New Zealand dollar, how much US dollars we can get. Okay, so it'll be for a New Zealand dollar you get 0.67 cents, so 67 cents. Okay, and we can confirm that on Google. NZD will be 0.68. Yeah, so it's rounded up. Okay, guys. So right now where the price is at is 0.67742. Okay, right. So yeah, guys. So that's how we read the charts, and don't get scared just by looking at a candlestick chart or whatever chart you're looking at. It's nothing but a graph, and we're just using past data to predict where the market is going to go next. Yeah, so you can't do that just by looking at the charts, guys. So you need to know, you need to look into fundamentals. There's a lot of things, but this is the basics of what a chart is and what we can do with it, what information we can get from it. So yeah, so investing this is it. I mean, you're looking at your charts and you're trying to get into a trade by looking at past price actions. Yeah. Okay, guys. So hope that made sense. And then yeah, so yeah, guys, on this chart you can change your x-axis to any interval. So it can be 4 hour, 1 hour. On my MT5, I've got all the other time frames there as well. 2 hour, 3 hour. It's not really necessary. Just the daily, 4 hour, 1 hour, 15 minutes, and maybe 5 minutes is enough. Okay, but I mean, if it's there, why not use it? Yeah, and then weekly, monthly, of course, you definitely need to have. So yeah, so basically, you can. I think MT4 just had monthly, weekly, daily, 4 hour, 1 hour, and 15 minute, and 5 minute, and then 1 minute. Yeah. So you can change your x-axis to whatever value, whatever interval you want, and then your y-axis is price. You cannot change that, and you're just looking at the past price data, guys. Yeah. I think that is it, guys. So hopefully that made sense, just looking at it in a basic way. As I said earlier, guys, like even I used to get confused. I used to look at candlestick patterns and try to memorize them, not really knowing what is this price action, what is going on, what is it representing, so it's just nothing but a graph. Okay, and the simplest form of the graph is a line graph, and when you jump into candlesticks, you're just putting in more data. All right, okay, guys, so hopefully that was informative. So if you did like the video, guys, please do hit the like button and share with your friends and fellow traders. So okay, guys, bye for now. See you next time.